They say some places hold onto darkness, a chilling echo of what once was. Our story begins in Blackwood Manor, a forgotten estate shrouded in perpetual twilight. Locals whispered tales of its former owner, a recluse whose final days were steeped in madness. Now, only silence reigned, broken by the wind's mournful sigh through shattered windows. But silence can be deceptive, a thin veil over something far more sinister. It started subtly, a faint whisper carried on the night air, just beyond hearing. Then, objects began to move. A rocking chair, swaying gently in an empty room. Footsteps echoed from the floor above, heavy and deliberate, yet no one was there. Shadows danced in the periphery, fleeting glimpses of something not quite human. The air grew heavy, thick with an unseen presence, a cold breath on the neck. A child's lullaby, faint and distorted, drifted from the abandoned nursery. The old grandfather clock, long broken, chimed 13 times at midnight. Scratches appeared on the walls, forming symbols no one could decipher. A chilling scent, like damp earth and decay, permeated the entire house. Mirrors showed fleeting reflections, faces that weren't your own, gone in an instant. The feeling of being watched became constant, an oppressive weight in every room. Doors would creak open, then slam shut, as if an invisible force played a cruel game. One night, a portrait's eyes seemed to follow, its painted gaze filled with malice. The whispers grew louder, forming fragmented words, a name perhaps, or a warning. A cold, skeletal handprint appeared on a dusty window pane, too large for any child. The temperature plummeted in certain spots, creating pockets of icy dread. A faint, guttural growl emanated from the cellar, a sound of pure, primal hunger. The house itself seemed to breathe, its old timbers groaning like a living entity. Every shadow held a secret, every creak a potential threat, every silence a scream. The line between reality and nightmare blurred, trapping its inhabitants in fear. Then, the attic door, long sealed, slowly creaked open, revealing absolute darkness. A guttural shriek tore through the silence, echoing from the depths of the house. A monstrous form emerged, skeletal and gaunt, its eyes burning with ancient hatred. It moved with unnatural speed, a blur of shadow and bone, towards its prey. The air crackled with malevolent energy, a suffocating presence of pure evil. A final, desperate scream was swallowed by the darkness as the horror consumed all. Silence returned, heavier and more profound than before, a silence of absence. The house stood still, but the air vibrated with a lingering, palpable dread. No trace remained, only the chilling memory of what had transpired. The shadows seemed deeper, the corners darker. Holding onto their terrible secret, a single, broken doll lay on the floor, its vacant eyes staring into nothingness. The wind howled, carrying with it the faint echo of a forgotten scream. Blackwood Manor stands, a monument to terror, forever marked by its dark past. Some doors, once opened, can never truly be closed, only left to fester. And sometimes, the scariest stories are the ones that never truly end.